ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಿ ಯುನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಯಾವುದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ದ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. ಹೌದಾ, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನೈನ್ತ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಜೀವ ವೈವಿಧ್ಯತೆ ಅನ್ನೋಂಥ ಚಾಪ್ಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಣಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಂಥ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್. ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ ಶೋ ಅ ಮೆಟಾಬಾಲಿಕ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್. ಹೌದಾ, ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ okay, whatever the organisms show a growth, it may be plants or it may be animals, those are living. Whatever the organisms show reproduction, it may be sexual or asexual, they are living. Okay, whatever the organisms show a metabolism, okay, metabolism, okay, it may be anabolism or catabolism, okay, including both, okay. That's a living. Then body organization, okay, body organization may be cellular or tissue type or organ system, okay. Whatever the organism they show a body organization, those are living. Whatever the organism they are conscious, because some organism they not show a maybe what metabolism like structures, or what they show definitely reproduction. In some organisms what asexual type of reproduction is there, or different things we have to, but whatever the organism show a ಕಾನ್ಷಿಯಸ್ನೆಸ್ ದೋಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದು ಗ್ರೋತ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಕೆಲವು ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ವಿಸಿಬಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಗ್ರೋತು. ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ಏನಾಗ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಸೆಕ್ಸುವಲ್ ಟೈಪು ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ದೆನ್ ಮೆಟಾಬಲಿಸಮ್ ಅಂತೂ ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತದೆ. ಬಾಡಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಸೆಲ್ ಆರ್ನ ಬಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಆದರೂ ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು. ದೆನ್ ಕಾನ್ಷಿಯಸ್ನೆಸ್, ಓಕೆ, ಸಮ್ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾನ್ಷಿಯಸ್, ಸಮ್ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಬಟ್ ಲಿವ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ನಾನ್ ಕಾನ್ಷಿಯಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಶೋ ಎನಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲಿ. ಹೌದಾ, ಆದರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು 2-3 ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆದರೂ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ ಶೋ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್. okay. Then organization of living things, organization of what living things, okay. Their body is made up of what if a single cell, then they are called as a unicellular organisms. Then what a simple one celled organisms. And then what we see here, organism. Then in those organisms what they show a body system. In those body several organs are performing their functions. In particular organ a special type of tissues working together, that's tissues. Then in tissues group of cells are there, okay. Then organelles in cell, what mitochondria, lysosome, ribosome, some organelles are there. Then in those mitochondria some molecules are there, okay. Whatever the here what triangle shaped diagram they given, what they given the organization of living things, how they are constructed, how they are made up of, okay. Then multicellular organism, they made up of several cells, okay, that we already studied. Then if we see growth is the what special character of a living organism. For example, in human beings, okay, baby to adult, how they are going, that's given here. Then seed, okay, seedling, how they are growing, that's given. And then duck, how it undergoes a growth, the given structure. Then what is a living, okay. uh, in what previous slide whatever we discussed, for example, growth, reproduction, metabolism, body organ, consciousness, okay, including those response to stimuli, consciousness and response to stimuli, okay, both are same. Then heredity, adoption, evolve, okay, these are also what characters of a living. Then characteristics of living organism, characteristic of living, a very important, which one? Growth, increase in mass. Then very important one, reproduction, produce offsprings. Then capable of metabolize means biochemical reactions occur inside the body, okay, maybe digestion, respiration, circulation, okay, like these things. Then respond to external stimuli, okay, it's also called as a irritability, respond to what environmental stimuli, okay. Whatever the organism show these characters, those are what living. Then see here, what one grasshopper, it is adoption, leaf like a structure, green in color to survive in nature, okay, it's a living. Then touch me not plant, whenever we touches the leaves of a touch me not plant, okay, they fold. Okay, that's also what response to stimuli, means that's living. Then characteristics of life. Characteristics of life. What are the characteristics of life? Okay, we already discussed growth, response, metabolism, heredity, adaptation. Adaptation to where? Adaptation to environment, to survive in our environment, to continue our progeny in environment. Adaptation is very important. Then next, reproduction, organization. Okay, several level of organizations are there. I already told for you, molecules, then cell organelles, like these things are there. Then living organisms are self-replicating, evolving and self-regulating interactive systems capable of responding to external stimuli. External to stimuli. Then a very peculiar character and very important character of a living organism, that's a growth. Then we have to study now growth. Increase in mass of the organism, it is called as a growth. Then see, two types of a growths we seen. It's internal growth and external growth, or intrinsic growth and extrinsic growth. Then internal growth, increase in mass, protoplasmic mass of cells, increase in number. It's external growth, increase in number of cells are increased. Plants growth, continuous, okay, are restricted to regions. In plants, growth occurs up to lifetime, so continuous. And some restrictions are there, for what? Restricted to regions, particular regions stop to grow. Then animal growth, what? Wholesome, discontinuous. Wholesome and discontinuous means up to a certain age the animals will grow, after that they stop their growth. Then non-living things shows extrinsic growth. Non-living things, what? Shows a extrinsic growth, like mountains. Like a mountain, they are always growing because of what? Inside the lava is moving, means that's not living, means the non-living, particular word we use it there. Then reproduction, ability to reproduce a new individual organism of the same kind. Okay, that's called as a reproduction. Ability to reproduce a new individuals organisms of the same kind. Okay, that's called as a what? A reproduction. Then types of reproduction: sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. We already studied in our previous classes. Now we are going to discuss what? Metabolism. Okay, some what? A total of all chemical reaction occurring in what? Organism. Some total of all chemical reactions occurring in a organism, that's called as a metabolism. In metabolism, two processes will occur. One is anabolism and another one is a catabolism. Okay, then large molecules, for example cytoplasmic membrane, cell wall, ribosomes, whatever, they undergo a catabolism, liberation of a large amount of a heat. What they produce? They produce ATP. Smaller molecules, amino acids and nucleotides are there, and again they undergo anabolism with liberation of a small amount of a heat. Okay, again converted into larger molecules. Okay, this is what occurs in any organism in the form of nutrients. That's why it's called as a metabolism. Now we are going to discuss body organization. Body organization, okay, basic unit of a organism, it's a cell. Functional and structural unit is a cell. What? A cell. Then a group of cells performing a similar function, those are called as a tissues. Group of tissues performing a single work, that's an organ. Then several organs together they are working, means this organ system. Then one organ system is coordinating with another organ system, and they are performing to lead a life of any organism. Okay, that's an organism. Then they given here what definitions also: tissue, group of cells that work together doing the same function. Organ, it is made up of two or more tissues. Then system, it is made up of different organs that work together to perform a function. Okay, step by step. What very smaller unit is a cell, then organization is a higher level. Then consciousness is the ability to experience or to feel. Wakefulness or self-awareness, ability to sense and respond to their environmental stimuli. For example, sunflowers, Okay, they always their face is always towards the sun. Means it's a consciousness. Okay, sleeps in what minerals, dreams in plants, wake up in animals, and become self-awareness in human. Okay, quote by scientist, given a quote. Okay, plants also, they are consciousness. Touch, we see in what sunflower, touch me not plant, and some other plants. And in a circus elephant, whatever it will perform activities, those are on the basis of consciousness. Diversity in living world. Diversity in the living world, or biodiversity, is the occurrence of variety of life forms differing in morphology, size, color, anatomy, habitats, and habits. There are some 1.7 to 1.8 million living organisms known to science, out of which 1.25 millions are animals and about 0.5 millions are plants. Then biodiversity hotspots. Okay, on our earth several biodiversity hotspots are there. Okay, in India, Himalayan region, okay, and Western Ghats, these are what biodiversity hotspots. See, this is a Himalayan region, this is what Himalayan region, and this is our Western Ghats. Okay, then next, binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature, system of providing distinct and appropriate name to organism, each consisting of two words. That's called as what binomial system of nomenclature. Binomial means two names. Nomenclature, naming. All organisms have a scientific name consisting of a genus and species. Names derived from Latin. Guidelines set by the Botanical International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. Okay, and here whatever they given, it's about International Council, International, International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, International Code of Zoological Nomenclature, and what International Union for Code of Nomenclature, IUCN, ICBN, and ICZN. These are the what expansion forms. Again, we already discussed in where whenever we are discussing in the form of mind map. Okay, that time I explained these what long forms, IUCN, IBN, like this. Then now we are going to binomial system of nomenclature. Binomial system nomenclature we already discussed. For example, mango, Manzifera indica, it's a binomial nomenclature. Humans, Homo sapien, it's a binomial nomenclature. Pea plant, okay, for pea plant, Physarum sativum is a binomial nomenclature. Then there are several rules to adopt a binomial nomenclature. So see, binomial nomenclature rules: the entire two-part name must be written in italics. Okay, entire two-part name, one is a genus, another one is species. Okay, must be written in italics. If you are writing handwritten, then underline them. That's important. The genus name is always written first, and the genus name must be capitalized. The specific epithet is never capitalized. Epithet, that's a species. The name or abbreviated name of the scientist, okay, describing the species for first time, should be written after binomial nomenclature. For example, we write what Pseudomonas syringae. Pseudomonas syringae, it's a what organism, it's a binomial nomenclature. Then it's invented by Wall Hall. After we write this one. Okay, to avoid confusion, the same binomial should not be used to name two different species. The year in which organism were described should be written after the name of the author or scientist. These are the what some rules of a binomial nomenclature. Then classification or taxonomy. Classification or taxonomy, process by which anything is grouped into convenient categories based on observable what characters. That's called as a what classification or taxonomy. Taxa means categories. Classification involves hierarchy of steps in which each steps represents a rank or category. Then species. For example, if we take an example, Homo sapiens, what classification or taxonomy? Okay, what humans? Human species is sapiens. Then genus Homo, family Hominidae, order Primate, class Mammalia, phylum Chordata, kingdom Animalia. We already in our previous classes 5 kingdoms we already discussed. What are those? Monera, Protista, Mycota, Plantae, Animalia. Then human beings comes under Animalia. Which one? Animalia. See here. It's there. Then taxonomic categories. Taxonomic categories. What are the categories? Species, genus, family, order, class, phylum, kingdom. Then first of all we have to see the example of man. Man. Okay, binomial nomenclature Homo sapiens. Genus Homo, species Sapiens, family Hominidae, order Primate, class Chordata, phylum Mammalia, and kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia. The next one, housefly. Housefly, it's a binomial nomenclature or scientific name is Musca domestica. Then Musca is a genus. Then domestica is a species. Then Muscidae is a family. Then Diphthera order. Then class Insecta. Then phylum Arthropoda. Okay, and kingdom Animalia. Next one which one? Mango Manzifera indica. Then genus Manzifera. Species Indica. Then family Ancardicia. Then order Spindalis. Class Dicotyledon. Then phylum Angiosperms. Kingdom Plantae. The next one, wheat. Triticum aestivum. Genus Triticum. Species Aestivum. Then family Poaceae. Then order Poales. Then what class? Monocotyledone. Then phylum or division Angiosperm. Okay, kingdom Plantae. Kingdom what? Plantae. Now we are going to discuss about this, whatever the taxonomic categories are there: kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. We have to see these what definitions. See definitions. Kingdom, highest category of classification. Then phylum, group of related classes. Class, group of related orders. Order, group of families which exhibit a few similar characters. Then family, group of related genera with a smaller number of similarities as compared to genus and species. Then genus, group of related species having more characters in common in comparison to species of other generation. Then species, group of organism which fundamental similarities, and they also able to reproduce in themselves. They can also able to produce fertile offsprings. Those are called as a species. Then biological classification. For example, they given here which one? Species Rosa gallica. It's one species. Okay, moss rose. Then genus Rosa. Okay, in genus Rosa 500 species will come. How many? 500 means it's a one only, but here 500 species will come. Then family. Okay, Rascasia. Okay, Rascasia 3000 species will come here. Then order Rosales 18,000 species will come here. Then class Angiosperms 2,35,000 species comes under Angiospermae. Then phylum Tracheophyta, whatever the plants they have a what xylem and what phloem, those are called as a tracheophytes. Then what 2,50,000 species are there in phylum Tracheophyta. Then kingdom Plantae 2,75,000 species comes under kingdom Plantae. Okay, then kingdom is the highest level of a classification. Species only one organism. Then see here species Ursus arctus, it's a one type of brown bear. Then genus Ursus here a brown bear all will come, and a black bear all comes. Next, which one family? Ursidae. Ursidae. In Ursidae, brown bear, black bear, and panda will also come. Means number is increasing. Then if we go for next level, that's order. Order carnivore. Okay, whatever the organism are carnivores, they eat the flesh with the help of their canines, and what with their what they uh, what remove the flesh with the help of their nails. Those are called as a carnivores. Here carnivores: brown, black, panda, and fox. These are all comes under carnivore. The next class is a mammalia. Mammalia, whatever the organism feed their baby with mammary gland. Those are called as a mammalia. Then here brown, black, panda, fox, and squirrel. Because these are all are what? They give birth to young ones and they feed their babies milk. That's why they all comes under what? Mammalia. Next one, phylum. Phylum chordata. Chordata, whatever the organism, they have a backbone. They have a backbone. Those are called as a chordates. Then brown, black, panda, fox, squirrel, snake, because snake also chordate. So phylum chordata. Then next kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia, whatever the organism, they show a multicellular level of organization of a body. Okay, for performing each and every function, different what cells or tissues or organs or organ system is there. Those are called as animalia. Then here brown, black, panda, fox, squirrel, snake, starfish, because it's an invertebrate. Whatever the organism, they don't have a backbone. Those are called as invertebrates. Means vertebrates and invertebrates both they comes under kingdom animalia. Okay, like this, what biological classification is there? Like this, biological classification is there. Then taxonomical aids. What are the aids helpful to study taxonomy? What are those? See ones. Okay, first one, which one? Herbarium. Okay, what they are herbarium, botanical gardens, museum, zoological parks, keys, flora, manuals, monographs, catalogs. These are helpful to study organism in detail. That's why these are called as a what? Taxonomical aids. These are helpful to study organism. Okay, we can able to compare and make a differences. What are the differences in between those organisms and what are the similarities in between those organisms? How, with the help of taxonomical aids. And what are the taxonomical aids? These are all things 1 to 9, whatever we discussed, these are all things are taxonomical aids. Then these taxonomical aids, one by one we have to discuss. First one, herbarium. Then storehouse of collected plant specimens. Storehouse of collected plant specimens that are dried, pressed and preserved on sheets. Dried, pressed and preserved on sheets. Those are called as a herbarium. Royal Botanical Garden, 6.5 million. Okay, and Central National Herbarium, 2.0 millions of what stored seeds they have. Uses of a herbarium: used for identification of plants, useful to locate wild varieties, to know morphological variations found in species, useful for researching plants. These are the what uses of a herbarium. Next, another taxonomical aid is botanical garden, a specialized gardens that have a collections of living plants. For a reference, Royal Botanical Garden London, Indian Botanical Garden Kolkata, these are the famous botanical gardens, have a aesthetic appeal and provide a recreation facility, wide variety of growing plants, provide a ready material for research, role in conservation of endangered plant species and genetic diversity. Genetic diversity. Next taxonomical aid is museum, place for collection of preserved plants and animal specimens for study and reference. American Museum of Natural History, National Museum of Natural History, Delhi. These are the what important what museums, important museums. For our nearest museum is what Shahu Museum. We see a variety of what tigers, cheetah, buffaloes, pig, wild pigs, like these things. Then zoological parks, places where wild animals are kept in a protected environment that provide a natural environment to the animals. National Zoological Park, Delhi. Okay, Alipur Zoological Garden, Kolkata. Next, keys. Okay, this is the next taxonomical aid. Key is another taxonomical aid used for identification of plants and animals based on the similarities and dissimilarities. The keys are based on the contrasting characters, generally in a pair called a couplet. It represents the choice made between two opposite options. This results in acceptance of only one and rejection of the other. Each statement in the key is called a lead. Separate taxonomic keys are required for each taxonomic category, such as family, genus, species, for identification purpose. For identification purpose. Then taxonomical aids. Flora, plant found in specific area. Okay, plants found in specific area, that's called as a flora. Okay, based on habitat. Okay, it's a taxonomical aid. Then manuals. Okay, in an area there are many plants. Okay, manual describe each and every plants in that area. Next, catalog. Catalog all kind of species found in particular area, that's called as a catalog. Then monograph. Monograph, information on any one taxon. Information on any one taxon, that's called as a monograph. Okay. Okay, up to now we discussed important terms related to the living world. Hopefully this video is useful for you. Okay, if you feel these videos are useful, then share and subscribe. Thank you so much.